The Architect of Time, A Legacy Unveiled. Chapter 1. The Time-Weathered Scroll. In the quietude of the British Museum's Antiquities Department, Thomas Brighton felt a spark of curiosity. His gaze locked on an old parchment with an aged, worn appearance, lying on a table amidst a clutter of imposing artifacts. He could tell from the dust on its transparent casing that it had been forgotten, passed over for more impressive finds. Yet, the apparent insignificance of this scroll intrigued him. As a historian, he had learned that history's whispers often lay hidden in the smallest, overlooked pieces. His heart raced as he lifted the scroll with gloved hands and moved towards his desk. A single overhead light cast a circle of warm glow onto the parchment, highlighting the faded ink and strange symbols that wound their way across the scroll's surface. On initial examination, the symbols appeared cryptic, their meanings lost to the ravages of time. They bore a resemblance to hieroglyphs, yet were subtly distinct. Thomas's gaze narrowed in concentration, years of studying ancient languages flooding back to him. He began to notice patterns, commonalities with other ancient scripts. His enthrallment grew as he realized he was staring at a new puzzle, an enigma of history waiting to be unraveled. The world outside, the grey London weather, and the incessant ticking of the clock faded away as he focused on the symbols. After days of intense deciphering and cross-referencing, a coherent message began to emerge, revealing a story lost to time. It spoke of an architect, not of buildings, but of concepts influencing time itself. Thomas leaned back, heart racing and mind buzzing with his revelation. An architect capable of bending time? It felt like the plot of a science fiction tale, yet it was inscribed on an ancient scroll. The historian in him craved to investigate further, to uncover the truth about this architect of time. It was a tantalizing prospect that promised to unveil a history forgotten, a legacy buried in dust and time. Little did he know, he had just set himself on a journey that would change his life and the course of history forever. Thomas's excitement gave way to methodical diligence. He meticulously photographed the scroll from multiple angles, ensuring each symbol was captured in detail. The images proved invaluable as he cross-referenced them with his collection of historical references and scripts. Hours blurred into days, nights filled with coffee-stained papers and the hum of his old desktop. The symbols on the scroll weren't from a single ancient civilization. Instead, they bore hallmarks of several, an amalgamation of Egyptian, Roman, and hints of East Asian cultures. Thomas found it fascinating, yet perplexing. How could a single document bear the mark of so many civilizations? He wrestled with translations and interpretations, some leading to dead ends, others opening new and exciting avenues of research. Among the cryptic phrases, one line stood out: "The architect shapes not stone or wood, but time's elusive thread." It was poetic, powerful, and thoroughly captivating. As he stared at this line, the room seemed to fade, and Thomas was transported to an era where the architect of time lived and breathed, a world where time could be woven, twisted, and shaped by a master. It was an intoxicating image that fueled his determination to discover more. Fueled by a newfound sense of purpose, Thomas dedicated every waking hour to the ancient scroll. Sleep became an elusive creature, chased away by the burning curiosity that had consumed him. Food was an afterthought, a necessary distraction quickly dealt with in between bouts of research. His dedication bore fruit when he finally managed to piece together an initial translation of the scroll's text. It hinted at the existence of this architect of time, a figure revered and feared in equal measure. It described a legacy of time, woven creations, details of which were cryptic at best. The architect of time was no mere mason. This figure had the power to alter the perception of time, to distort reality, and to play with the very fabric of existence. The mere concept of such a figure was both awe-inspiring and terrifying. As Thomas sat back in his chair, staring at the now silent scroll, he felt a thrill of exhilaration tinged with a sliver of apprehension. He had been given a glimpse into a forgotten epoch, a story that had been erased from history's grand narrative. With the mystery of the architect of time revealed, he now had a daunting task ahead. He had to delve deeper into this obscure past, to follow the footsteps of the architect, to understand and, ultimately, to unveil this hidden legacy to the world. The realization of what lay ahead was both exhilarating and daunting. The path was shrouded in mists of time and mystery, beckoning him forward. It promised peril, adventure, and the tantalizing prospect of history rewritten. Thomas knew the journey would not be easy, but the thrill of discovery was too enticing to resist. As he gazed at the time, weathered scroll that started it all, Thomas felt a profound connection to the past. The weight of history seemed to rest on his shoulders, urging him to unravel secrets lost to time. His heart pounded with anticipation and a sense of destiny as he prepared to step into the unknown. Every discovery and clue brought Thomas closer to grasping the true power of the architect of time. With determination and resolve, he accepted the challenge, eager to pursue the architect's shadow and reveal truths concealed for centuries. An adventure of a lifetime lay ahead, and Thomas Brighton was prepared to face it with unwavering courage. His heart raced with anticipation, ready to unlock the secrets of time itself. The Architect of Time, a Legacy Unveiled. Chapter 2. Cryptic Symbols Deciphered. Thomas's quest to uncover the secrets of the Architect of Time began in his dimly lit study. Walls laden with shelves groaned under the weight of centuries, old books, ancient scripts, arcane tomes, forgotten diaries of explorers, and historical documents lay nestled side by side, filling the air with the musty scent of parchment and knowledge. His first task was delving deeper into the symbols etched onto the weathered scroll. Equipped with a magnifying glass and his meticulous nature, Thomas began the painstaking process of translating each symbol, hoping to tease out context hidden within. His initial interpretations provided a general understanding of the story, but Thomas knew subtleties often held the key to historical translation. He started afresh, his gaze poring over each character, each symbol, drawing connections, and building a web of interwoven meanings. Each day was filled with comparisons of symbols in the archives of ancient civilizations. Thomas's study became a hub of discovery, filled with whispers of ancient times. As days turned into weeks, the language of the scroll became less elusive, revealing secrets one symbol at a time. The symbols turned out to be an esoteric language, a hybrid combining elements from various ancient civilizations. The interplay of different linguistic structures was unlike anything Thomas had encountered, and the complexity thrilled him. It was like stumbling upon an undiscovered dialect bearing the imprints of a shared ancient culture. After countless hours of translation and retranslation, Thomas found himself reading the text fluently. The language felt fluid, symbols no longer alien but familiar, like old friends sharing secrets in hushed tones. The process yielded invaluable insights. Through these symbols, Thomas began to piece together the story of the Architect of Time. The architect emerged not merely as a myth, but as a real figure who had walked the earth. However, the architect's tale was not etched into stone of any monument or sung in the verses of any epic. Instead, it was concealed within the parchment of this time, weathered scroll. The architect appeared as a figure of influence. His creations were not just masterpieces, but confluences of science, art, and metaphysics. Each creation harnessed powers of celestial bodies, altering the perception of time for those who interacted with them. Despite these revelations, much about the architect remained shrouded in mystery. The text revealed little about the figure's identity, origins, or the nature of their creations. The lack of detail was frustrating, but Thomas knew this was just the beginning. His mind brimmed with questions as he pored over the translation. Was the architect a single person, or a title passed down through generations? How did this figure alter the flow of time, and for what purpose? And perhaps most intriguing of all, why was there no other mention of this architect in any other historical document he knew of? As he pondered these mysteries, one thing became clear. The cryptic symbols on the scroll were not just a language, they were a key that could unlock the secrets of a figure so profound, yet so forgotten, that their existence was nearly erased from the annals of history. In the stillness of his study, surrounded by piles of books and the dim, flickering glow of the lamp, Thomas felt a familiar yet unique thrill of discovery. It surged within him, a sensation he had experienced countless times, but this moment felt distinct. This time, he wasn't merely revealing a lost moment in history. He was delving into a mystery that spanned civilizations and centuries, connecting past and present in unexpected ways. The task was enormous, but his resolve was unwavering. He was standing at the precipice of a historical revelation that could redefine humanity's understanding of time itself, and he was ready to delve deeper, to unearth the buried legacy of the architect of time. One evening, as Thomas sat surrounded by the dim glow of his desk lamp, he stumbled upon a peculiar pattern within the text. It was a sequence that seemed to recur at irregular intervals, a code within the language that hinted at something more profound. With a thrill of anticipation, he realized that this pattern might not only shed light on the architect's methods, but also guide him to the locations of these time-altering creations. Driven by an electrifying sense of purpose, Thomas was determined to trace the architect's footsteps and uncover the secrets of these ancient sites. As the night drew on, Thomas continued to transcribe the script, immersing himself in the ancient symbols that held the key to his quest. The tale of the architect had only just begun to unfold, and Thomas knew that every character he translated, every connection he drew, brought him one step closer to understanding the intricate design of time itself. With renewed determination and the scroll's cryptic symbols guiding him, Thomas was prepared to chase the architect's legacy to the ends of the earth. The journey would be long, fraught with challenges and unknown perils, but the promise of unveiling a forgotten legacy was worth every risk. He stood at the dawn of a journey that promised to unravel the very fabric of time. The Architect of Time, a Legacy Unveiled. Chapter 3: The Pursuit of Time. Entering vibrant London felt like resurfacing from a long dive into ancient mysteries. While Thomas had been lost in his studies, time had moved on. Now, amidst the city's energy, he was ready to embark on a journey that connected him to the past, reigniting his sense of discovery. His first stop was the British Museum. Although a frequent visitor, this visit had a distinct purpose. He was not there to simply marvel at the exhibits or lecture on historical eras. He was on a quest through time. The museum housed artifacts from diverse civilizations, each whispering fragments of history. As he moved from one exhibit to another, Thomas scrutinized Egyptian obelisks, Roman columns, and intricate Chinese pottery, seeking any trace of the architect's influence. In the Egyptian section, he found himself drawn to the sun disks and depictions of astronomical phenomena. The scroll had hinted at the architect's creations harnessing the powers of celestial bodies. Could there be a connection here? Then there were the Roman exhibits, boasting their monumental edifices like aqueducts and colosseums, all testaments to architectural prowess far ahead of their time. Thomas wondered if the architect of time had influenced these designs. In the Asian section, the Chinese zodiac and its emphasis on cyclical time made him pause. The architect's work was said to alter temporal perception. Could this be another piece of the puzzle? For days, he immersed himself in photographing, sketching, and documenting everything related to the architect. Yet, the British Museum raised more questions than it solved. It became evident that he had to dig deeper, following the trails of these ancient civilizations to uncover the truths hidden within their histories. With a mixture of excitement and apprehension, Thomas realized the path he must tread. It would take him away from the comfort of his study into the cradle of ancient civilizations. He would need to walk where they walked, see what they saw, and perhaps, within landscapes, he would find traces of the architect of time. Armed with his translated scroll, a notebook filled with research and unwavering resolve, Thomas meticulously charted out his expedition. His study was littered with maps, dotted with historical sites, museums, and points of interest. Flights were booked, accommodations arranged, and contacts made. His study had turned into an expedition headquarters, filled with energy that mirrored his anticipation. His first destination was Rome. He was eager to see the ancient city's architectural marvels, to walk its cobbled streets, and to breathe in its rich history. He aimed to find any traces of the architect's impact on the magnificent buildings that continued to rise in the Eternal City. Each stone seemed to whisper secrets of the past, inviting him to explore their hidden stories. Next, he set his sights on Egypt, the land of pharaohs and pyramids. The scroll hinted at celestial bodies, suggesting a connection to the architect's work, making Egypt crucial to his quest. Amidst the sprawling deserts, he anticipated uncovering clues that could reveal the architect's enduring legacy. With each step, he felt the weight of history urging him to uncover the secrets hidden within the sands of time. His last destination would be China, a civilization celebrated for its deep grasp of time. Thomas anticipated that its ancient cityscapes and historical treasures would unveil further insights into the time-woven works of the architect. As Thomas packed his bags, he couldn't shake off a feeling of exhilaration. He was stepping into the unknown, setting off on a journey that was as much a personal quest as a historical investigation. With every artifact he would examine, every ruin he would explore, he would be getting closer to a figure who had, until now, existed only in the cryptic symbols of a time-weathered scroll. With a last look at his study, the home of his discovery, Thomas felt a pang of nostalgia. He knew that when he returned, things would never be the same. He was leaving behind the familiarity of his life and stepping into a world brimming with enigmas and secrets to be unearthed. As he stood in the doorway, his eyes swept over the room one last time. The cluttered desk, the bookshelves brimming with knowledge, the faint smell of old parchment, all of it held a sense of comfort and purpose. But amidst the sentimentality, there was an undercurrent of excitement. The thought of unearthing the secrets of the architect of time filled him with a sense of destiny. He was not just leaving his study, he was embarking on a journey that promised to bridge the past and the future in ways he had only dreamed of. The day of his departure arrived. The air was crisp, the sky clear, and London seemed to be bidding him a cheerful farewell. As his cab weaved through the city's bustling streets towards the airport, Thomas gazed out of the window, anticipation bubbling within him. His pursuit of time was about to take him across continents and deep into the heart of history. As the plane ascended, Thomas glanced back at the shrinking skyline. Ahead stretched uncharted lands, ancient cultures, and the exhilarating chance for a groundbreaking discovery. Adventure awaited. The architect of time awaited discovery, and Thomas Brighton stood ready to unearth a legacy hidden in history's depths. He imagined himself amidst ancient ruins, interpreting symbols and revealing long-lost truths. The thrill of the journey ahead ignited within him an intense sense of purpose, driving him forward into the mysteries that awaited his exploration. Thomas knew that this journey would not only reshape historical understanding, but also transform him in ways he couldn't yet comprehend. The mysteries he sought were not just academic, they were deeply personal, intertwining his fate with that of the architect of time. As the plane soared into the sky, Thomas felt a surge of determination. This was more than a quest for knowledge, it was a journey to uncover the very fabric of time itself, and he was ready to meet whatever challenges lay ahead. The Architect of Time, A Legacy Unveiled. Chapter 4, Echoes of Rome. As the plane touched down in Rome, Thomas arrived in a city where history and modernity intertwined. Ancient ruins stood against modern buildings, cobblestone streets weaved through bustling city blocks, and amidst it all, the echoes of a glorious past reverberated. The Colosseum, the Roman Forum, the Pantheon, each of these sites called out to him. These places emanated palpable energy, telling tales of a bygone era. With every step he took, every stone he touched, Thomas sensed the history. His exploration began with the Colosseum, its grandeur still palpable despite the ravages of time. Walking through its arches and imagining the cheers of a Roman crowd, Thomas pondered how such structures could alter perception of time. Awed by Roman architectural ingenuity and the sense of eternity their structures seemed to embody. Could this be a trace of the architect's work? Next, at the Roman Forum, Thomas traced the rise and fall of one of history's most powerful empires. The ruins told stories of power, ambition, and grandeur, and he couldn't help but wonder if the architect of time had a hand in shaping these events. At the Pantheon, Thomas marveled at the building's perfect design and innovative architecture. The open oculus at the dome's apex, allowing daylight to pour into the interior, seemed to blur the boundaries between earthly and divine, between time and eternity. He speculated on the relationship between the architect's craft and these architectural marvels. As he visited each site, Thomas meticulously documented his observations, sketching structures, taking photographs, and making notes. His focus was unrelenting, fueled by the city's historical aura and the possibility that the architect's legacy might reveal itself. Yet, despite the richness of Rome's history, the architect's influence was still unclear. The city's architectural wonders were captivating, but did they bear the mark of the architect of time? And if so, how could he be sure? The questions multiplied, but answers remained scarce. One evening, while studying the Pantheon's dome, Thomas had an epiphany. The scroll mentioned the architect's mastery over celestial bodies. If these structures were the architect's work, they would surely reflect this celestial connection. With renewed vigor, Thomas dove into analyzing the structures from this new perspective. His mind raced with thoughts of sun paths, star alignments, and lunar cycles. Could the key to the architect's legacy lie not just in the structures themselves, but in their connection to the cosmos? Armed with this new line of thought, Thomas set out to test his theory. He researched ancient Roman astronomy and analyzed the orientation and positioning of the historical sites in relation to celestial bodies. His days were spent exploring historical sites, and his nights were consumed with calculations and theories. At the heart of his investigation was the Pantheon. Its oculus, the eye to the sky, intrigued him. His research led him to the fascinating discovery that the Pantheon's design allowed for sunlight to bathe the doorway only on the spring and autumn equinoxes. This was more than mere architectural brilliance. It was an understanding of celestial mechanics, a synchronization of human endeavor with the cosmic rhythm. The Pantheon's structure stood as a testament to time, hinting at the architect's influence. His exploration of the Colosseum and Roman Forum uncovered celestial alignments as well. Each discovery deepened the mystery. The placement of these structures appeared to align with specific solar and lunar events. These were not mere coincidences, but purposeful alignments, a nod to the celestial influences the scroll had alluded to. One afternoon, while meticulously analyzing the shadows cast by the sun on the Colosseum's aged stones, Thomas noticed something extraordinary. The shadows seemed to trace intricate patterns that corresponded with star maps from ancient Roman times. This revelation struck him as more than just a sophisticated understanding of architecture. It hinted at a profound knowledge of astronomy and an intentional design to capture the essence of time itself. The celestial designs in these structures quietly showcased the architect's brilliance, bridging the earthly and the divine through the harmonious movement of the cosmos. Each pattern told a story of creation and purpose. The more he discovered, the more Thomas was convinced that he was on the right track. The architect's presence was not explicitly visible, but subtly woven into the fabric of Rome's architecture. The connection between time, space, and the cosmos was more than a mere hint towards the architect's presence. It was a shadow of his legacy. However, his discoveries in Rome were just the beginning. Each clue he unearthed was a piece of a larger puzzle. The echoes of Rome had set the stage, and the next act of his quest was calling him. His journey was far from over. Egypt's sand, covered landscapes awaited, promising to unlock further secrets of the architect's legacy. As Thomas boarded his flight to Cairo, he felt the echoes of Rome in his heart, brimming with excitement for the secrets the ancient sands of Egypt would soon unveil. Adventure awaited him in every grain. Eager to explore the mystery further, Thomas aimed to hear the echoes of a lost civilization and uncover more fragments of the architect's enduring legacy. Though the echoes of Rome had long since diminished, their resonance remained a source of inspiration as he embarked on the next phase of his journey. The Architect of Time, A Legacy Unveiled. Chapter 5, Whispers of the Nile. The first glimpse of Egypt resembled stepping into an ancient masterpiece. The pyramids of Giza, standing tall against the golden sands and the clear sky, were a sight to behold. Among the secrets of the Nile, Thomas hoped to uncover more pieces of the architect's legacy. Exploring Egypt was like journeying through millennia. The grandeur of the ancient civilization was evident in every stone, every carved hieroglyph, and every gust of the desert wind. The country was steeped in history and myth, creating a perfect canvas for the architect's visionary handiwork. He began his quest at the Great Pyramid of Giza. Standing before the colossal structure, the sense of awe was overwhelming. The pyramid, a marvel of ancient engineering, was a testament to the brilliance of the civilization that built it. But Thomas aimed to delve deeper, seeking evidence of the architect's influence. Through meticulous observation and research, he discovered that the pyramid's alignment was deliberate. Its sides were aligned with the cardinal points, north, south, east, and west. This positioning appeared to be a deliberate act to sync with the cosmos, similar to his observations in Rome. Further investigation revealed something even more fascinating. The pyramid's design and positioning allowed for certain celestial events to occur. On the summer solstice, the longest day of the year, the sun set precisely between the two largest pyramids when viewed from the Sphinx. This was not mere coincidence, but a clear indication of a deep understanding of celestial mechanics. Each new discovery bolstered Thomas's belief in the architect's influence on these structures. They weren't just tombs or monuments, but intricate timekeepers, syncing earthly endeavors with celestial rhythms. Just like in Rome, the architect's influence in Egypt was subtly woven into the fabric of their architecture. Yet, despite these revelations, Thomas couldn't ignore the persistent question nagging at him. If the architect had such an influential role, why was there no explicit mention in historical texts or records? The Egyptians meticulously documented their history through hieroglyphs and inscriptions. Could it be possible that the architect's existence was intentionally hidden or coded in symbols that were yet to be deciphered? Driven by these thoughts, Thomas delved into the study of hieroglyphs, hoping to find coded references or symbols that could point towards the architect. This was no easy task. The language of ancient Egypt was complex and multifaceted. But Thomas was undeterred. He had journeyed too far and uncovered too much to be dissuaded by the task's complexity. As he meticulously studied each hieroglyph, visited numerous monuments, and observed the desert sunrises, Thomas found increasing indications of the architect's legacy. The sands of Egypt were revealing secrets, leading him closer to the architect's legacy. The next chapter of his quest was unfolding, and Thomas was ready to face it head-on. Thomas immersed himself in the rich tapestry of Egypt's history, studying its grand monuments, visiting its ancient temples, and deciphering its cryptic hieroglyphs. He spent days under the scorching desert sun, photographing, sketching, and documenting every potential clue that might point towards the architect. His time in Egypt transcended mere research and exploration. The rich culture, the people, and their stories infused his quest with vibrant color and depth, enriching his experience. Every encounter left a lasting impression. Thomas discovered that, just like the Nile that nurtured the fertile lands, the captivating stories of the people nourished his understanding of Egypt's deep history and its connection with the enigmatic architect of time. The Karnak temple complex was a turning point in his journey. Amid the grand columns and intricate carvings, Thomas discovered a hieroglyph that resonated with his quest. It depicted a figure, neither pharaoh nor god, standing beside celestial bodies and holding what appeared to be a stylized version of an hourglass, the universal symbol for time. The figure, he hypothesized, could represent the architect. This revelation rekindled Thomas's passion and strengthened his unwavering resolve. His time in Egypt, marked by relentless discoveries and formidable obstacles, now felt meaningful. He realized he was nearer to achieving his goal than he had ever been. As Thomas pieced together these discoveries, he felt an emerging pattern that linked the great civilizations he had studied. The architect's influence seemed to transcend geographical boundaries, embedding a universal understanding of time and space into the very foundation of human achievement. This realization gave Thomas a profound sense of purpose, driving him to continue his quest with even greater determination. Despite gathering these intriguing fragments, the larger picture eluded him. The pieces lay scattered across time and space, each waiting to be assembled into a whole. He felt urgency to connect them before time slipped away. With whispers of Rome and secrets from the Nile, the architect's legacy remained unheard. As Thomas's time in Egypt neared its end, he readied himself for the next chapter of his journey, eager to uncover what awaited him beyond the horizon. China, with its ancient cityscapes and profound sense of time, awaited him. He hoped the East, rich in history and deep-rooted culture, would provide the final pieces to his puzzle. Thomas bid farewell to Egypt, carrying its golden sands, the wisdom of the Nile, and the promise of a legacy ready to be revealed. As his plane ascended, leaving behind the land of pyramids and pharaohs, he looked forward to the ancient wisdom of the East. The secrets of the Nile had brought him closer to the architect, and now the tales of the dragon beckoned him. With every passing moment, he felt the weight of his journey and the significance of the paths he had travelled, ready to embrace the knowledge that awaited him in a land steeped in tradition and mystery. The Architect of Time, a Legacy Unveiled. Chapter 6. Tales of the Dragon. China welcomed Thomas with its striking contrasts, where towering skyscrapers stood alongside ancient temples. High-speed trains weaved through terraced rice fields, blending cutting-edge technology with age-old traditions. This was a land where the past was as vibrant as the present, rich with tales of the dragon and ripe for unveiling the architect's legacy. Thomas's exploration began in Beijing, the vibrant heart of China, brimming with historical treasures. The grandeur of the Forbidden City and the architectural prowess of the Temple of Heaven provided a rich canvas for his research. He meticulously sketched and analyzed, searching for signs of celestial alignment, mathematical precision, and any hint of the architect's influence. The Temple of Heaven proved particularly intriguing. Its circular shape represented heaven, and the square base represented the earth. The complex design and placement mirrored celestial patterns and events, reflecting Thomas's findings in Rome and Egypt. This alignment not only showcased artistry, but also a deep understanding of astronomy. After immersing himself in Beijing's wonders, Thomas journeyed to Xi'an, where the terracotta warriors silently told tales of the emperor's quest for immortality, offering a different perspective on the concept of time. The Great Wall, with its serpentine form stretching over rugged mountains and deep valleys, stood as a monumental testament to China's ancient engineering prowess and relentless endurance. The ancient observatory in Beijing, one of the world's oldest, showcased China's profound knowledge of the cosmos. Each significant location and city enriched his grasp of China's history and the potential impact of the architect, unveiling new layers of understanding. Thomas's journey in China went beyond monuments and historical sites. He immersed himself in a vibrant civilization deeply connected to time. He explored ancient philosophies, delving into yin and yang, the 5 elements, and the Chinese zodiac, all intricately tied to the profound concept of time. The lunisolar Chinese calendar linked time with celestial bodies, mirroring the architect's pattern he had seen in Rome and Egypt. Through this exploration, Thomas began to realize that the architect's influence was not just about grand structures and their alignment with the cosmos. It was a philosophy that transcended stone and mortar, permeating the culture and consciousness of civilizations. The architect of time left behind more than mere structures. He shaped thoughts and influenced culture, profoundly altering how civilizations understood the concepts of time and space. One day, in a quaint old bookshop nestled within Shanghai's bustling streets, Thomas stumbled upon an ancient text on Chinese astronomy. It spoke of an unnamed sage who guided emperors in synchronizing human activities with celestial events. This sage was depicted holding a clepsydra, an ancient time measuring device. The echoes of the architect resonated strongly in these lines. Invigorated by this discovery, Thomas started looking for similar references in other Chinese historical documents. He spent countless hours in libraries, scanning through dusty scrolls and texts, deciphering complex ideograms. Each day was a challenge, but each day also brought him a step closer to his goal. His persistence was rewarded when he discovered a similar illustration in the Dunhuang manuscripts, ancient texts unearthed in the Mogao caves, revealing their profound historical significance. The manuscript detailed celestial maps and calendar calculations, revealing a mention of a sage linked to celestial bodies and the measurement of time. This reference highlighted the sage's significance in understanding the cosmos and cycles. These discoveries, alongside his earlier revelations, crafted a vivid narrative. The architect's influence reached beyond the physical, intricately weaving into the philosophical and cultural tapestry of civilizations. The tales of the dragon had unfolded, revealing aspects of the architect's legacy that Thomas had never considered before. He had found traces of the architect in the philosophy, culture, and ancient wisdom of China. But his journey was far from over. His quest, which started as a pursuit of architectural marvels, had evolved into a discovery of a cultural and philosophical legacy that spanned civilizations and millennia. As his exploration in China concluded, Thomas looked ahead to his next destination, the ancient Mayan civilization of Mesoamerica. He hoped that the Mayan understanding of time and their deep fascination with the cosmos would add another dimension to his search for the architect of time. Before departing, Thomas took a moment to reflect on his journey. Standing on the banks of the serene Li River, surrounded by the misty peaks of Guilin, he felt a profound connection to the land he was leaving behind. The wisdom he had gathered here was not just academic, it had transformed his perception of time and existence. China had shown him that the architect's influence was interwoven with the cultural and philosophical tapestries of entire civilizations, and this realization deepened his resolve to uncover every fragment of the legacy left by the enigmatic figure he pursued. As Thomas departed from China, he carried the lessons of the dragon, gaining a profound understanding of time and the cosmos, alongside the belief that the architect's legacy was far broader and deeper than he had ever conceived. The resonances of Rome, the whispers of the Nile, and the stories of the dragon guided him on a path that wove together time, space, and civilizations. This next chapter of his journey called to him, promising further revelations and drawing him closer to the unearthing of the architect's legacy. Each step taken was a move toward a greater understanding, as the interconnectedness of history and myth unfolded before him, igniting a passion for discovery that would define his quest. The Architect of Time, a Legacy Unveiled. Chapter 7, Shadows of the Maya. The jungles of Mesoamerica were different from the bustling cities of China. Here, sounds of civilization were replaced by the call of exotic birds and rustle of leaves. Amid these vibrant landscapes, the ruins of the ancient Mayan civilization told tales of a time long gone. Thomas's journey had brought him to this fascinating land where the past echoed in every stone of the ancient Mayan cities. This was a civilization known for its profound understanding of the cosmos and an incredibly accurate calendar system. Thomas hoped to find traces of the architect of time in these ancient lands. His journey began at Chichen Itza, where the renowned El Castillo, or Temple of Kukulkan, stands proudly. This step pyramid, a feat of ancient engineering, is famous for its mesmerizing displays, showcasing the ingenuity of the civilization that built it. Its beauty leaves visitors in awe. On the spring and autumn equinox, the play of light and shadow created the illusion of a serpent descending the pyramid. This was not random, but a display of the Mayans' deep understanding of celestial patterns, an echo of the architect's pattern. Exploring the Mayan understanding of time and the cosmos, Thomas found that their calendar system, the Tzolk'in and Habi, formed a calendar round, syncing human life with celestial cycles. This philosophy mirrored what he observed in Rome, Egypt, and China. The Mayans' interest in time was not just limited to their calendar system. They built observatories to study celestial bodies, the most famous being the El Caracol at Chichen Itza. Inside this uniquely circular structure, Thomas found multiple windows designed to observe the movements of Venus and other celestial bodies, proving yet again the strong celestial connection. Each discovery in this new land seemed to strengthen his belief in the architect's influence. The clues were subtle, just as they had been in the previous civilizations, but they were consistent. The architect's signature was like a faint thread weaving through the tapestry of human history, barely visible but ever present. As Thomas delved deeper into the mysteries of the Mayan civilization, he found himself drawn to their hieroglyphic script. Similar to his experience in Egypt, he hoped to find coded references or symbols pointing to the architect. Immersing himself in the study of these cryptic symbols was like stepping into a maze. This maze promised a route to the architect, and Thomas was resolved to find it. His time in Mesoamerica was filled with exploration and learning, each day unveiling new insights that fueled his determination to uncover the secrets within. Amid the ruins of ancient cities, he found pieces of the puzzle, clues hidden in stone and inscribed in glyphs. He documented each detail meticulously, photographing carvings, sketching diagrams, and poring over notes into the night. His dedication bore fruit when he found a recurring symbol in several Mayan codices he had studied. It was a figure standing among celestial bodies, clutching a gear-like object, reminiscent of the timekeeping devices he had seen in Rome, Egypt, and China. This figure, he hypothesized, could be a representation of the architect. Buoyed by this discovery, Thomas intensified his study of Mayan glyphs and codices. His days were filled with a mix of exasperation and excitement as he navigated the complex world of Mayan hieroglyphs. His hard work eventually paid off as he found more references to this figure associated with time and the cosmos. In this ancient civilization, steeped in mysticism and astronomical wisdom, Thomas had found traces of the architect, resonating with the whispers of the Nile, the tales of the dragon, and the echoes from Rome. The shadows of the Maya had added another layer to his quest, strengthening his belief in the architect's widespread influence. But the pieces of the puzzle were not yet complete. Though the legacy of the architect of time was becoming more evident, the question of who this architect was remained unanswered. The architect's identity was as elusive as a shadow in the dense Mesoamerican jungles. As Thomas's journey through Mesoamerica concluded, he contemplated the path he had taken. It had begun with a search for an architect whose influence could be seen in some of the world's most renowned structures, leaving an indelible mark on history. Each step revealed new insights. It had led him to the footprints of a figure who had influenced the philosophical, cultural, and scientific fabric of ancient civilizations. The architect's legacy was as vast as time itself. Standing amidst the ruins of Chichen Itza one last time, Thomas felt a profound connection to the ancient minds who had crafted such marvels. The sheer ingenuity and celestial wisdom embedded in these structures were not just testaments to human achievement, but potential keys to understanding the architect's grand design. This journey had become more than a scholarly quest. It was a personal pilgrimage, one that transcended time and space, bridging the ancient with the present in an unending pursuit of knowledge. Bidding goodbye to the Mayan ruins, Thomas prepared for the next leg of his journey. India, with its ancient temples and cosmic philosophies, beckoned him. The shadows of the Maya loomed behind him, while ahead lay the enchanting melodies of the Ganges. Thomas's quest for the architect's legacy was still unfolding. With each step, he uncovered revelations that echoed the architect's profound impact. Though the journey stretched long and the path grew intricate, Thomas remained resolute. The promise of the architect's legacy beckoned him, and he was prepared to bring it to light. The Architect of Time, a Legacy Unveiled. Chapter 8, Melodies of the Ganges. India presented a rich mosaic of sensory experiences, a land teeming with diverse cultures, vibrant traditions, and ancient wisdom. When Thomas arrived in India, he could feel the weight of history, the echoes of ancient philosophies, and the whispers of time resonating through the millennia. He commenced his journey in Varanasi, one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities in the world. The city was an enduring symbol of India's ancient culture, steeped in spirituality and cosmic wisdom. Watching the sunrise over the sacred river Ganges, casting a golden glow on the Ghats, he felt a deep connection to the flow of time. Though captivated by India's rich architectural heritage, Thomas found the country's philosophical concepts of time, like yugas and samsara, particularly intriguing. These ideas mirrored the patterns he had identified in other ancient civilizations. His exploration led him to architectural wonders, from the Sun Temple at Konark to the Brihadiswara Temple in Thanjavur. These structures, marvels in themselves, encapsulated a cosmic philosophy, aligning physical structures with celestial bodies. The Sun Temple, for instance, was designed as a colossal chariot of the sun god, with 12 pairs of intricately carved stone wheels representing the months of the year. Fascinated by these structures, Thomas discovered an ancient manuscript in Nalanda University's library, offering a lead. The manuscript referenced a sage, a Kal Vidwan, an expert of time, who advised kings on auspicious timing for events, aligning with celestial bodies. The figure was depicted holding a Gati yantra, an ancient time measuring instrument. The pattern was unmistakable. This Kal Vidwan bore a striking resemblance to the architect. Thomas delved deeper into the manuscript, deciphering the ancient script in search of more clues about the architect. As he journeyed through this philosophical and architectural realm, he realized the melodies of the Ganges were adding a unique rhythm to his quest. The architect of time was more than just an architect. He was a philosopher, a sage, a scientist, whose influence transcended physical structures, embedding a philosophical understanding of time into the cultural fabric of civilizations. As he moved from north to south in India, exploring ancient temples, studying traditional systems of time measurement, and immersing himself in the country's rich philosophy, he found several references to the architect. Each reference, each symbol, each manuscript was a piece of a grand puzzle, a thread in a cosmic tapestry, connecting civilizations across time and space. One peaceful evening, while meditating by the serene banks of the Ganges in Rishikesh, Thomas encountered a local scholar deeply versed in ancient Vedic texts. This wise scholar, a keeper of old wisdom, introduced Thomas to the Kala Chakra, or the Wheel of Time, illustrating the cyclical nature of the universe. The intricate diagrams and profound teachings within these texts provided Thomas with deeper insights into how the architect might have intertwined his understanding of time and space with the spiritual and philosophical fabric of ancient India. The scholar's explanations illuminated the idea that the architect's work was not just about physical edifices, but about embedding a holistic view of existence into the cultural consciousness. His journey through India culminated at the Ellora Caves, a UNESCO World Heritage Site renowned for its monumental cave temples. Here, among the hand-chiseled stone sculptures and frescoes, he found the same symbol he had seen in the manuscript, a sage holding a Gyati yantra surrounded by celestial bodies. It was another significant clue pointing towards the architect's influence. As Thomas bid farewell to India, he realized that his quest had evolved far beyond his initial expectations. What started as a search for an architect who had left his mark on iconic structures had become a quest for understanding a philosophical legacy that shaped human history. From the Nile's whispers, the dragon's tales, the Maya's shadows, to the Ganges' melodies, his journey had traversed diverse cultures, each revealing a unique facet of the architect's legacy. The past echoes grew louder each time, puzzle pieces aligned once more, and the path ahead sharpened, revealing a clarity that had long been hidden in shadows. With renewed determination, Thomas prepared for his next destination, the ancient city of Petra in Jordan, wondering what new revelations awaited him in the heart of the desert. The mysteries of Petra, with its rock-cut architecture and hidden histories, promised to add yet another layer to his understanding of the architect. As he boarded his flight, he couldn't help but feel a sense of profound anticipation, knowing that each step brought him closer to uncovering the full scope of the architect's enduring influence across time and space. Thomas reflected on the journey so far, realizing that his pursuit of the architect had not only been a historical expedition, but a profound personal transformation. Each new discovery along the way had deepened his appreciation for the interconnectedness of human civilizations and their timeless quest for knowledge and understanding. The teachings from India had shown him that genuine understanding went beyond the physical, demanding a dive into philosophical and spiritual depths. Filled with gratitude and anticipation for the challenges awaiting him, Thomas felt prepared to confront the sands of time in Petra. There, he aimed to uncover more of the architect's intricate design, seeking hidden truths within the ancient stones. With a mind open to new insights and a heart grounded in wisdom, he was ready to explore the mysteries that lay within Petra's timeless landscape. The Architect of Time, A Legacy Unveiled. Chapter 9. Echoes of the Desert. Thomas marvelled at the stark contrast between India's vibrant hues and Jordan's subdued tones as he arrived in the Middle Eastern desert. The arid landscapes, dotted with ancient ruins, held their own enigmatic charm. His destination was Petra, a city carved into pink sandstone cliffs, a testament to the architectural prowess of the Nabatean civilization. Petra, with its massive facades hewn straight out of rock, stood as a hauntingly beautiful testament to ancient ingenuity. The city's centerpiece, Al-Khazne, or the Treasury, was an architectural wonder, but it was the astronomical tower that drew Thomas. The tower, once used for celestial observation, hinted at the Nabateans' understanding of the cosmos. In the desert stillness, surrounded by breathtaking architectural wonders, Thomas pondered his journey and the path that led him here. Each step had shaped his soul. From the banks of the Nile to the heart of the desert, his quest for the architect of time had taken him through myriad cultures and histories. Each civilization added a new layer to the architect's enigma. Each discovery brought him closer to understanding the profound influence of this elusive figure. His exploration of Petra led him to ancient inscriptions and rock art. Among these ancient remnants, Thomas eagerly sought further clues about the enigmatic architect. His diligence paid off when he came across a now familiar symbol in an ancient Nabatean script, a figure surrounded by celestial bodies holding a unique time, measuring instrument. This reaffirmed his belief in the architect's influence. The desert whispers revealed another layer of the architect's profound legacy, each grain of sand echoing a timeless story and hinting at secrets hidden within its vast expanse. Melodies of the Ganges, shadows of the Maya, dragon tales and whispers of the Nile seemed to merge here. The architect's influence bridged continents and eras, leaving an imprint across civilizations and shaping the philosophies that defined them. Ancient wisdom and modern thought entwined, creating a legacy that endured. Thomas, deeply absorbed in studying Nabatean astronomy and ancient timekeeping methods, discovered striking parallels to the systems he had encountered in China, Egypt, Rome, and India. These civilizations, though worlds apart, shared intricate cosmic patterns that seemed interconnected by an unseen thread. And at the heart of this grand tapestry lay the architect. The desert's echoes unveiled yet another dimension of the architect's enduring legacy, a legacy that was only beginning to reveal itself, one hidden truth at a time, whispering from the sands. As Thomas journeyed deeper into Petra's mysteries, he discovered the Nabateans' ancient water management system, a marvel of engineering that utilized the movement of celestial bodies to mark the changing seasons and guide water collection. Here was another echo of the architect's influence, not just on monumental structures, but on the practical aspects of a civilization's survival in a harsh landscape. This architectural prowess and understanding of celestial movements to manage water were more than just the needs of survival. They were the manifestations of a deep-seated cosmic philosophy, a philosophy that Thomas recognized from his explorations across other civilizations. Each day in the Rose, Red City uncovered fresh traces of the architect's enduring influence. His findings in Petra resonated with what he had uncovered in Rome, Egypt, China, Mesoamerica, and India. The architect's impact spanned civilizations and ages, resonating through history, leaving traces that transcended any single culture or period. His legacy was timeless. During his explorations, Thomas met local Bedouins who shared generations, old legends, tales of a wise traveler who imparted knowledge of the stars and the earth. These stories, steeped in mysticism, painted a picture of the architect not just as a figure of scientific prowess, but as a revered sage whose teachings transcended mere engineering, embedding themselves into the cultural fabric of the people. While the architectural marvels of Petra were grand, the clues to the architect's influence were subtle, hidden in plain sight. The timekeeping methods, the celestial alignments, the ingenious water management system, all bore the signature of the architect, a signature that Thomas had learned to recognize. It was during a quiet evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and cast a warm glow on the pink sandstone, that Thomas stumbled upon an intricately carved map in one of the lesser-known chambers of the astronomical tower. This map, unlike any he'd seen before, depicted a network of ancient sites spread across the globe, each marked with symbols he had come to associate with the architect. It was a revelation that tied together all his discoveries, suggesting these civilizations were not merely influenced by the architect in isolation, but were part of a grand, interconnected design that transcended geographical and temporal boundaries. The whispers of the desert were growing louder, resonating with the melodies, shadows, tales, and whispers from the past. Thomas felt he was on the brink of a profound understanding, an unveiling of a legacy that spanned time and space. He realized his quest was no longer about one man's influence on iconic structures. It was about a philosophy, a cosmic understanding that had shaped civilizations. As Thomas prepared to leave the desert, a wave of anticipation filled him. His journey was almost complete, with Greece, the ancient cradle of Western civilization, awaiting him. He wondered what secrets it might hold. In his mind, he saw the Parthenon, Delphi, and other iconic sites, each potentially holding the final clues. Greece, steeped in philosophy, science, and art, promised to unveil deeper insights into the legacy of the architect. The anticipation was almost palpable, a blend of excitement and a touch of anxiety, as he considered the significance of what he might uncover. With the echoes of the desert still resonating, Thomas set off, eager to unravel the final threads of the architect's legacy. Thomas understood that Greece held key insights into how the architect's influence was woven into the fabric of Western thought. Every step on this path brought him closer to a truth that had eluded historians for ages. His journey had been challenging and prolonged, but now, with the end in sight, he felt a renewed surge of purpose. Determined to confront the revelations awaiting him, he prepared himself for the wisdom of ancient philosophers and the echoes of timeless knowledge. As his plane sped toward Athens, he gazed over the vast Mediterranean below, sensing the weight of history and the thrill of discovery merging within him. Soon he would stand where legends once walked and secrets once whispered would be within reach. The Architect of Time, A Legacy Unveiled. Chapter 10. Whispers of Olympus. Greece, cradle of Western civilization, greeted Thomas with stunning landscapes, clear waters, and landmarks. Amidst the remnants of the Parthenon, Temple of Hephaestus, and Theatre of Dionysus, he sought the final pieces of his cosmic puzzle. In Athens, the birthplace of philosophy, Thomas hoped to uncover the last clues. From Thales' theories on the primordial element of water to Pythagoras' numerical universe and the complex cosmologies of Plato and Aristotle, Greek thought delved deeply into cosmic mysteries. Among ancient structures, Thomas sought traces of the architect's touch. At the Antikythera mechanism, an ancient Greek device predicting celestial events, he saw echoes of familiar timekeeping tools. Its resonance with Nile mysteries, dragon myths, Maya shadows, Ganges songs, and desert whispers left him in awe of shared mysteries across worlds. Delving into Greek philosophy, astronomy, and architecture, Thomas uncovered references to an ancient figure, an astronomos, expert in time and space. This figure advised states on construction, timing events, and interpreting celestial phenomena, often depicted with a device resembling the Antikythera mechanism. The connections were too frequent to dismiss as mere coincidence. Thrilled by his discovery, Thomas stood on the verge of unraveling the architect's legacy. The whispers of Olympus were poised to disclose their secrets. Amidst the ruins of ancient Greek civilization, Thomas felt a profound connection to the civilizations he had traversed, a unity threading through human history's tapestry. This interconnectedness embodied the architect's true legacy. Under the Parthenon's shadow, with the Acropolis silently watching, Thomas unlocked the quest's final secrets. The astronomos wasn't just a myth or one person. He embodied a timeless philosophy and shared wisdom that spanned across eras, cultures, and worlds. Known as the Architect of Time, he represented an idea that transformed human history's path, guiding humanity's quest for meaning. In Greek scriptures, Thomas found conclusive proof. One passage described the astronomos as an Eastern sage who journeyed worldwide, absorbing and sharing wisdom on time and cosmos. This sage influenced Greek thought, architecture, and science, aligning seamlessly with the architect's descriptions elsewhere. Intrigued, Thomas spent countless days poring over manuscripts, visiting ancient libraries, and consulting local historians. He unearthed tales of the astronomos collaborating with Greek philosophers, blending Eastern and Western astronomical insights into a unified cosmic understanding. With his quest concluding, Thomas had journeyed the globe, traversed time, delved into ancient texts, and finally exposed the architect of time's legacy. The architect wasn't a person, but an idea, a philosophy permeating various civilizations, shaping human understanding of cosmos and time. Surveying Athens, the whispers of Olympus merged with the desert's echoes, Ganges' melodies, Maya's shadows, Nile's tales, and dragons' myths, all converging into a grand symphony of time, testament to the architect's legacy. In that reflective moment, Thomas paused, sensing the profound weight of countless centuries of human curiosity and innovation. Every civilization he encountered had left a mark on him, sharing glimpses of their unique views on the cosmos and time. Each interaction deepened his understanding, as if history itself whispered its timeless secrets to him. He marveled at how, despite their vast geographical and cultural distances, these ancient peoples had shared a common yearning to deeply comprehend the universe's profound mysteries. Their collective pursuit echoed through the ages, resonating with Thomas as he stood amidst the timeless ruins. At that moment, Thomas sensed a profound unity with ancients who had gazed at stars, pondering existence's mysteries. His journey hadn't just unearthed the past, but connected him with an ageless quest for knowledge, transcending generations and cultures. It was a reminder that humanity's quest for comprehension was a collective endeavor, journeying towards enlightenment. With Olympus's whispers guiding him, Thomas recorded his findings. What began as an exploration for an ancient architect culminated in uncovering a universal philosophy, shaping human civilization's history. With his manuscript complete, Thomas prepared to share the architect's legacy worldwide. Departing Greece, he pondered how this timeless wisdom would shape future eras. As he boarded the plane, memories of his journey flooded his mind, the awe-inspiring monuments, the scholarly exchanges, and the profound insights gained. He couldn't help but wonder how the lessons of the architect, spanning continents and epochs, would resonate in the modern world. Yet, amidst these musings, one thing became clear. The quest for understanding, ignited by ancient whispers and timeless wisdom, would forever guide humanity toward new horizons of knowledge and enlightenment. With Olympus's whispers echoing in his heart, Thomas smiled, knowing that while his journey had reached its conclusion, the architect's legacy would continue to inspire seekers of truth and wisdom for generations to come.